Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to be talking about a machine that's here on my bench. I really don't know what model it is. I've not been able to determine the badged name. You can see here at the upper arm of it, I can't decide if this is called Bellmuth, Bellmuth, or if it's a K or a D or just what it might be. But looking at the overall shape of the machine and the characteristics of it, I do believe that this is a very early white sewing machine, and it also has got ties to Florence Sewing Machine Company in Mason. My conclusion to that has been based off of some facts that were found with the machine. I'll hold in front of the camera now this shuttle that was with this machine, and may take it a moment to come into focus here. Right above this tension strap, you'll see that there's some embossing. I'll try to zoom in just a little bit more for you. And you can see that it says Florence. And from what information that I can find on the internet about the Florence Sewing Machine Company, it goes way back. One of the things I found was on a website. I'll hold this up here in front so you can maybe see the top of the piece of my paper here. That's the web address that I got that from in the top right corner. And it said about the Florence Sewing Machine Companies that they were based in Cleveland, Ohio. A.G. Mason Sewing Machine Company manufactured sewing machines from 1880 to about 1916. After this original Florence Sewing Machine Company went bankrupt in the late 1870s, Mr. Mason apparently acquired the company in the early to mid 1880s. The new company, doing business as Florence Machine Company and located in Florence, Massachusetts, manufactures sewing machines based on white models. Like many of the other manufacturers, A.G. Mason seems to have concentrated on making sewing machines for department stores and other retailers. Models sold by the company included Defender, Wilson, Crown, Queen, New Queen, and it goes on. It says then in about the early 1900s, the company moved its operation to Cleveland, Ohio, and was renamed A.G. Mason Sewing Company. Then later in 1916, the company was purchased by Domestic Sewing Machine Company, which later itself merged with White Sewing Machine Company. Another reason I kind of believe this is, again, from that era of that, is the bobbin case says Florence. And the bobbin that is actually in the bobbin case looks like this. And this particular style of bobbin has got a hollow tube, and it also has a very small opening here, so that as it's set on the bobbin winder, that's what holds it into place. Also inside of the shuttle, you'll see that it has a shaft that this bobbin sits on. I have found that also to be in my research to be with other early white, what they would call vibrating shuttle machines. Another reference that I have found, it looks very similar in shape to this machine. Again, I'll hold a piece of paper in front of the camera here. Maybe you'll be able to see this. This is the website that I got this information from. It was vintagesewingmachineblog.wordpress.com. And this actually talks about a lot of different machines. It talks about White, Mason, and Jones. And I thought it was very interesting in looking at those pages that the person had shared. They show a sewing machine that looks quite similar to the one that I have on the bench as far as the shape and the location of the bobbin winder and facts such as that. So in looking at the information they have shared here, their machine, they could no longer detect the badged portion either, but from their research, they believed it to be a Mason Defender model. You'll also notice on this paper that they're showing it has a hand crank on it. The particular machine I have here on the bench has no mechanism or no mounting area that a hand crank could be placed on it. This was in a treadle. And I removed it from the treadle to bring it home and clean and work on this. But whenever I have a machine that I'm working on, instead of just cleaning it, I like to try to dig up some of the history. And I thought you might just find that interesting. If I had to date this machine, that really kind of gets tricky, you know, because we don't have any serial numbers that we can match up. Singer did have some serial numbers that we could look up. But this one, I'm guessing here again by what this person was saying, my initial thoughts about this machine is it was probably produced in the late 1800, I would probably say 1900 up to 1920. And as you can see, if you go to that website and look, that is kind of their assumption too. It's very early 1900s. They also gave some additional information, which I thought was funny. They had found pictures of similar machines, the underside of them, to show us what they looked like. Again, this is from their site, and I encourage you to go there and look at it better. And I'm believing the one that I have on my bench is this picture that you'll see on the top of this page. If I flip this machine upside down, you'll see that the bottom of this machine matches up to the illustration that they have shown on their website. And I could take closer measurements just to be sure. But again, they're showing here is the bottom of what they believe to be an A.G. Mason Defender. And their arm length here is 17.6 centimeters. And so I'm assuming if this is this portion here on the machine we're looking at. Again, referencing other bits of the underside of the machine, it looks very similar. So I just thought it might be interesting to share that. Again, it's just something that I find interesting, is to kind of get an idea about the history of a machine. And I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you for watching. I'm going to post several additional videos. The next one will be on how to wind a bobbin and load the bobbin into the bobbin case. And then there will be a follow-up to that with threading it. And then a follow-up to that one with actually stitching. Thanks for watching. If you like my content, please subscribe. And again, thank you.